My name is Alejandro Alvarez, and I'm a 7th semester student from the Bachelor in Languages at UPTC. Well, this video is part of a homework I had to develop about lesson plan design for my English Didactics I class. So, to begin, a lesson plan is a kind of agenda all teachers have to develop their classes in a clear and organized way. So in the screen now you can see my lesson plan. So it will be developed in a Colegio San Juan Bautista. In here there is my name, the name of my homeroom teacher, in this case Sonia Cárdenas, and the name of my tutor, Jonathan Guarnizo. Well, this lesson plan was designed for 11th grade, and it's supposed that it will be developed this coming August 13 from 4 to 6. Well, the topic is storytelling, reading stories with my classmates. I chose a standard that you can see right now in the screen, and it was taken from Basic Standards of Competence in Foreign Languages English. Okay, the goal I would like to achieve with my students at the end of this session is that at the end of the lesson they will be able to use a connective addition for creating their own stories and sharing them with their partners and with me in the English class. And finally, the resources I will use will be PowerPoint presentations, Padlet, laptop, screen recorder, headphones, microphone, poster, some color markers, board, and a dictionary. Okay, so now in the competences, as you can see, we have three: linguistic, pragmatic, and sociolinguistic. In the linguistic is like the language itself, is the grammar aspects we are going to learn through the session. The pragmatic is when we put into practice what we learned. So it is like put it into action. And the sociolinguistic is the relationship between the knowledge and how we put it into a real practice in the context we are merged into. Okay, later on we have the classroom routine and the warming up. So the classroom routine is like the way we begin the class before I start speaking with our students. So as you can see in here, I have greet the students, introduce myself with them, prepare the material I will use in this session, and finally ask politely for attention to begin with the class. Then the first stage is the warming up. So it is like an activity to prepare ourselves to start with the best energy our session. So the activity I proposed was that the students and the possible teacher will introduce themselves by a game. For this, each of them have to think on a place and a song and an object that start with the first letter of their name. They have to create complete sentences, including the information required, and the estimated time for this is 5 minutes. Well, after that, we have like the 3 main stages. Those are presentation, practice, and production. Each of them have a specific standard, a procedure, an assessment, and of course the time. So in the case of the presentation, it is when I'm going to present the theory to my students before putting it into real practices, and the estimated time for this is 35 minutes. So basically first I'm going to begin showing them some rules I established to have like a great environment for our learning, and I designed a poster you will be able to see in the annexes at the end of the video. And also I designed a poster, and the idea is that I can stick it on a wall in the classroom. Then I'm going to support myself with a PowerPoint presentation about some theories, such as what is a short story, which are its characteristics, and I'm going to teach them which those characteristics are. Also, the idea is that my students and me can create the knowledge together, so I'm going to ask them actively, waiting for an answer by them. I have to mention at this point that the approach I will use in this class is multiple intelligences. So now in the practice, so Well, the main aspect in the practice is like to uh, review or check if my students comprehend or understood what I just explained to them. So at this part, I'm going to show a story I wrote previously, and the idea is that they can identify the parts of this short story. Then we are going to share our results, and we are going to clarify some doubts. And the final part is the production. So this is when we as teachers can evaluate if our students understood the topic in the way they were supposed to do. So at this point, what I wanted to do is to create stories. So the students will have some images, and they have to write a 100-word story according to the image. So for selecting the images, I gave them a number from 1 to 12. And in a platform I found, which name is Padlet, I show some images with its respective number at the top. So after that, the idea is that we can share our results or our short stories by turns with our partners, because I think that's like really great, and it helps us to work like as a team we really are. So I forgot to mention how much time I will spend in the practice. So at this part, I would like to spend just 30 minutes, and for the production I would like to spend 40 minutes. And finally, as homework, I asked the students to look for an image related to a work art, famous or not, from internet that called their attention. So after choosing it, they will write a short story using it as inspiration of axis of what they want to express by their writing. It will be no more than 100 words, and they have to use the connectors properly, just like they did with the exercise developed on the class. I didn't write any remark. Now I'm going to share with you my annexes. So, this is the poster. This is the PowerPoint presentation, which I'm going to prepare myself. So, as you can see, there are like keywords, key definitions, some images about the elements I would like to explain through the session. One of the examples I'm going to show them, and this is another example, and some instructions I'm going to take into account to the practice part. And this is a link from the Padlet I was talking about. Okay, so with this I finish my lesson plan explanation. I hope you enjoyed. Now we are going to move on to the next part of this video, and I'm going to talk about multiple intelligences theory. And I'm going to compare myself with the next image. So let's let it load. Okay, so I know that you have heard about multiple intelligences theory because it was like something really important some years ago, and all people were talking about it. So it was proposed by John Dewey, and he mentions that we all have different ways to learn. So they mention 8 different ways. So the visual special are the one that people use when they feel themselves more comfortable by watching screens or by writing their notes in their notebooks using different colors. The linguistic verbal is when the people can express themselves super easily. The interpersonal is when a person can share with the others in an easy way. The intrapersonal is when a person knows himself very well. Logic mathematical is when a person can develop some logical and mathematical issues such as physics, chemistry, maths, whatever. And the musical is when a person has attitudes for playing an instrument or can recognize easily different kind of notes by listening them. The bodily kinesthetic is when a person can control his body uh, in a really good way, so he can move his fingers without, I don't know, getting confused. And finally, the naturalistic is when a people feels comfortable when he or she is immersed in natural contexts, such as gardens or woods or things like that, and really like to be ecological and to be very careful with the way he or she lives, and try to avoid like uh, contaminate the environment. And that's everything. I hope you enjoy it. I'm so sorry for my tongue twist, and that's it. So have an awesome day, and I hope the information I just shared with you were clear. So bye bye.